न्याय का सबके लिए, आकाश न्याय का सबके लिए, उल्लास न्याय का सबके लिए.
Namaste. I, Srimati Vijaya Amre, Member Secretary of Goa State Legal Services Authority, warmly welcomes you, all the viewers of Virtual Juridicare Series Season 3. The main aim and object of this authority is to provide free and competent legal services to the marginalized and weaker section of the society, and to ensure that the opportunities for securing justice are not denied to any citizen by reason of economy and other disabilities. Free legal services are available at all talukas, and the needy person can visit the nearest court premises to avail free legal advice. All are requested to take this opportunity to resolve your grievances and disputes with the help of free legal aid advocates who are made available by this authority and also by District Legal Services Authority and also by Taluka Legal Services Committee. Besides this, we also organize and conduct Lok Adalats. National Lok Adalat now is fixed on 26 November 2022 all over Goa. All are required and requested to get your matters referred to National Lok Adalat for settlement. Thank you.
A very warm welcome to all the viewers. We, the Goa State Legal Services Authority, are back again with another season of Law Juridicare. And to begin with this, today we have with us Mr. Prakash Kamat. He is a senior journalist and member of Goa State Advisory Board on Disability, Advocacy Ambassador, Hemophilia Society, Panji Chapter, and works in disabilities sector. Today, Mr. Kamat would be speaking on the topic of rights and empowerment of persons with disability. Without taking much time, now I request Mr. Prakash Kamat to take over this session on behalf of Goa State Legal Services Authority.
Hello and Namaskar. Honorable Justice of Supreme Court, Justice Chandrachud, has recently said that persons with disability don't need your pity. They need entitlement on equal basis. This sentence from his recent public speech covers entire essence of the topic of persons with disability. Before going to the topic of disability and discussion, we should know what is disability. A person with disability is a person who has a long-term impairment. It may be physical, it may be mental, it may be sensory. And when this impairment comes in clashes with the barriers in the environment, that person's total participation in the society on par with others, means on equal basis, gets hindered. That is the disability. Now from this definition, what we learn? We learn that there are barriers around. And if we want these people with disabilities to have equal participation in the society, in its affairs, then it is our duty to get these barriers removed as much as possible. The more the barriers we will remove, the more their involvement will be on equal basis. Now, again one more concept I will tell you. Traditionally, not only in India, but worldwide, disability was seen from a different perspective. That was the perspective was of charity. You give them some concessions, you give them some grants, you help them. This was the concept, and especially in India, where we have lot of illiteracy, poverty, lack of education. People have perceptions which are like superstition, that disability happens because of curses, because of elections in the past birth. All these kinds of things are associated. And secondly, that they are looked upon with pity. Now, 2005 was a watershed year for persons with disability. A great thing happened. Globally, United Nations signed a convention of rights of persons with disability, which completely transformed this concept from charity basis to rights basis. So persons with disability, according to that convention, were supposed to have all rights, their rights of humanity, their rights to have a dignified life, their rights for equal justice, their right for education, empowerment, you name it. And they were supposed to have all these on equal basis, equity and equality. So this convention, United Nations said, asked countries to sign. One after another country started signing. India signed this convention in 2008, and it took us another 8 years, 2016, to come out with a very comprehensive Rights of Persons with Disability Act 2016. Now, convention is there. We are bound by that convention because country has signed that convention, and we have a comprehensive act in place. Then what happens? Central government asked all state to take that act and implement it. Still, some of the states and union territories have yet not notified that act. This should not happen, because unless all stakeholders decide that we will implement this act of rights of persons with disability, your signing of convention and your promise of equal rights on all fronts and equity and justice has no meaning. But having said that, country has been marching ahead with lots of things happening. Now, from this act, what evolves? First thing is awareness about disability. That is very important. Unless society becomes aware, they will not understand this level of from charity towards equal rights. So, awareness generation. Second aspect, moment you say they have equal right, that means people should see, society should see them with that inclusion, aspect of inclusion. They are part of us. In our vernacular languages, we call it Sarva Samaveshakta. So, unless you are aware, you will not take them as part of inclusion, inclusive society. Our society goal is to make it inclusive. How we make them? They are diverse, they are different. Diversity, unity and equality. That is very important. So comes first awareness, generate awareness. Second, you come to inclusion, that they are all part of us. Now what happens in society? People attitude is like this. Person with disability, his family will bother about them. Where we are bothered? No. Many people in disability don't have voice. There are hearing impaired, speech impaired. There are cerebral palsy people who also can't talk. So many of these people are in rural area. Almost 70% of disability people in our country are in rural areas. So their lack of education, lack of financial inclusion, poverty, all this means that these people are marginalized. They are excluded. So they should be included. So that is the first part. Then comes, we talk of their empowerment. Now for their empowerment, biggest thing I told you in the beginning only, unless there is accessibility, how will they be empowered? So accessibility is what we all have to work for. You go to any ATM of a bank, there are steps people with crutches, people on wheelchair can't go there. There are for visual impaired people, there should be in that ATM where they operate, there should be talk-back arrangement, which is not there. We go into lift. A person with visual impairment should have talk-back voice to tell that you are going to so and so place with the lift. If this kind of things are not available, that means there is no accessibility. So once there is accessibility, then their empowerment steps start. Education. Schools, we in Goa, we call ourselves a progressive society. Still we get complaints from parents of students on wheelchair. Sir, X school is not allowing our child because there is no ramp. X school is not allowing, high school is not allowing my daughter because there is no accessible toilet. Whole day the girl will sit with toilet, this urine? No. So these are the steps. So education is their biggest empowerer. So once they get education, they can become empowered. Second, technology, access to technology. Technology is the biggest empowerer for them. Now, person with visual impairment goes with what is known as white cane. That white cane in today's world has an app. So that directs that person about dangers ahead. So that is empowerment. Now, visual impaired people, sometimes they want to read. How they read? There is a different app, digital voice back. It is a voice which reads for them. So education in schools, colleges, they use that technology. But that technology has to be affordable. So whose duty it is? It is our duty to see that this kind of technology is affordable. So the point is, we have come to accessibility and now last empowerment. Now in their economic empowerment, issue comes, often families come to me, sir, after us, what about our child? So this concern is taken care of if we think of empowering them. For empowering them, government in the Rights of Persons with Disability Act has given a clear policy for their employment. Persons with disability have been given 4% reservation in state as well as central government jobs. They have also been given reservation in promotions, and I am very glad to say that our higher courts, our Supreme Court have been so progressive in outlook towards disability people that time and again these courts have intervened and expanded the scope of accessibility, expanded the scope of their empowerment. So it is the duty of the society now to respond. Let us think of their accessibility, let us think of accommodating them on par with everybody. So they should be mainstream, they should not be excluded. And let us see that we empower them. And as Justice Chandrachud had said, that they don't need pity, they need hand of empathy, and they need all this support. We should amplify their voice to see that authorities understand their concerns and their issues of accessibility, their issues of empowerment, their issues of engagement with the entire society are met. And that will be the day when our society will be a proud, inclusive society. We all should work towards that. Thank you.
On behalf of Goa State Legal Services Authority, I would like to thank Mr. Prakash Kamat for enlightening our viewers on the topic of rights and empowerment of persons with disability. Thank you, sir, once again, and I would like to request all our viewers to like this channel, subscribe and share this video. Thank you once again.
राष्ट्रीय न्यायिक सेवा प्राधिकरण
न्यायालयातल्या कारवाई खातीर बरो वकील मेळून दिता.
वेळार योग्य कायद्या खालची मदत आणि सल्लो दिता.
लोक अदालत द्वारा चड काळच्या केसीक बेगीन सोपयता.
आणि ते बी सामके मोफत.
राष्ट्रीय न्यायिक सेवा प्राधिकरण, बेस बरो न्याय, बेस बरो समाज.
अधिक माहिती खातीर लागच्या न्यायालयातल्या न्यायिक सेवा प्राधिकरण कार्यालया लागीं संपर्क करा
वा टोल फ्री नंबर 151000 चेर फोन करा.